It is an honor to be with you today and follow President Kikwete and President Bush, to Bono and Alicia, to the One Campaign. Thank you for bringing us together.
None of my friends are around.
Today's a remarkable day. Today we come together as a global community across continents, across faiths and cultures to renew our commitment to ending the AIDS pandemic once and for all.
The gay plague, as AIDS has been called, is the center of a political storm. The moral majority claiming AIDS is God's punishment for the gay
None of my
life.
friends are around.
Now, if you go back and you look at the themes of past World AIDS Days, if you read them one after another, you'll see the story of how the human race has confronted one of the most devastating pandemics in our history.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United
You'll
States.
see that in those early years, when we started losing good men
All
and
this
women,
media attention and sympathy for these AIDS victims just really bothers me. Let's call a spade a spade. AIDS is a venereal disease, and the vast majority of its victims are a group of abnormal people with a very strange and unusual
it was
lifestyle.
about ringing the alarm, calling for global
Parents
action.
were afraid three brothers, Ricky, Robert, and Randy Ray, all hemophiliacs, would spread the AIDS virus they got from blood products.
The Rays left Arcadia after their home burned in a
It
suspicious...
was about ringing the alarm, calling for global action.
The President of the United States would not even say the word AIDS publicly as late as
Proving that
1987.
this deadly disease was not isolated to one area or
The government
one group of
today
people.
tried to reassure people that there's no evidence AIDS is breaking out into the general population. Assistant Secretary for Health, Edward Brandt.
What's important is that there is no reason for panic among the general.
It was about ringing the alarm.
The disease called AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, sounds less than deadly, more like a diet pill. AIDS has struck only a reported 1,500 people, but it has killed almost 600 of them, and as yet no one with AIDS has been cured.
Puzzling new disease has appeared the past couple of years that is spreading rapidly among homosexuals, and it is a disease that is fatal.
You are raising the possibility that people are dismissing it because it strikes mostly the gay community?
There is no question in my mind. If this were happening to you and the white, straight, middle-class community, it would have been attended to a long
Proving
time
that this
ago.
deadly disease was not isolated to one area or one group
Congress
of
wants
people.
to know what to do about AIDS. Victims of the disease say the government has done nothing and has no plan to. Committee members were told that victims are often gay men or IV drug users, groups already discriminated against.
Calling for global action. Proving that this deadly disease was not isolated to one area.
Up till now, AIDS has affected only homosexual men, intravenous drug abusers, Haitian immigrants, and hemophiliacs.
Not by a long shot. The rate of new infections may be going down elsewhere, but it's not going down here in America.
So, I just got the news. I'm positive, and my viral load is at 5 million. So we got a lot of work to do to get that thing down. So now I'm going to catch a plane so that I can go home and tell my mom face to face.
There are communities in this country being devastated still by this disease. And that's part of what makes today so remarkable, because back in those early years, few could have imagined this day, that we would be looking ahead to the beginning of the end, when new infections among young black gay men increased by nearly 50% in 3 years. We need to do more to show them that their lives matter. And that's part of what makes today so remarkable, when Latinos are dying sooner than other groups. And that's part of what makes black today so remarkable, forgotten, even though they account for most of the new cases among women.
I'm Chris Ritchie, and I'm from Rusk, Texas. In October, right after my birthday, I was diagnosed with HIV. I went through shock first because I had been tested a million times before, and nothing had ever come back that way. And I was just assuming that it would come back negative like it always has.
I'm scared to death. I just have this absurd determination to live. Don't you?
Is there a name yet for this
Freddie's becoming weakened by this horrible disease, and he finds it hard to stand up a lot of the time. But he'll throw a couple of vodkas down, and he would prop himself up on the mixing desk and have his mic there and go for it.
Roll camera, roll playback. Sometimes I get to feel I was back in the old days, long ago.
You don't know me, but my story's a common one. Some years ago, my country went to war, and then soldiers came to our town. They raped me, and I became HIV positive. First my husband left, and then my family burnt my clothes and branded me a witch. I lost everything then. My family, my business, my dignity. Not my words, but the real-life experience of someone forced to live with the stigma that we attach to people living with or affected by HIV. The thing is, there's now a good treatment for HIV, but where's the treatment for the way the rest of us think?
Hello everyone, my name is I would like to reach out to some people that are young like me. I'm 27, who have probably encountered issues like mine, which I will now share with you. See if maybe through communication we can. Why I'm doing this is mainly because I'm gay and I'm HIV positive. I think those two words, to some extent, are still quite strong nowadays, and I think there's a lot of young people in London, in my situation, not only in London, in the world, in my situation, who have no one to talk to about this. A conversation can start and something can get out from this. Okay, bye-bye.
So this fight is not over. Not for the 1.2 million Americans who are living with HIV right now, not for the Americans who are infected every day. This fight is not over for them, it's not over for their families. And as a consequence, it can't be over.
Everyone deserves love. Why am I telling you this? Because the AIDS disease is caused by a virus, but the AIDS epidemic is not. The AIDS epidemic is fueled by stigma, by hate, by misinformation, by ignorance, by indifference. America has shown so much love for those living with HIV in the developing world. If this country wanted to end new infections at home, it could do so in a heartbeat.
We've got to keep fighting. Fight for every person who needs our help today, but also fight for every person who didn't live to see.
None of my friends are around from the beginning, so I want to tell their story as much as I want to tell my story.
And that's part of what makes today so remarkable, because back in those early years, few could have imagined this day, that we would be looking ahead to the beginning of the end. We are going to win this fight.